Hey guys, so I got some requests to talk about certain topics, and I feel like I'm going to cover at least 3 of them in one video. So this is for the people who requested it. So they requested this via a comment on a CNA vlog where I was working midnights at the assisted living, and I suddenly ended up with a trainee. So the first topic is double briefing. So I never double brief a resident unless it's in their care plan, because I've actually worked in facilities. I've worked in 2 where there has been a resident who it's in their care plan that you are allowed to double brief this resident. And the only reason why it was in her care plan that way is because she was known to get very combative. She had dementia. She did not like being changed. And her family said that that was okay, just so then, by the time we were actually able to change her, because it literally took like 3 or 4 people to change her, it was easier by that time, because she wouldn't end up like getting her entire bed soaked. So, I mean, it's definitely not good for the skin whatsoever. It's not okay in any normal circumstance unless it's care planned that way. Like I said, I have had multiple people who, when I am doing orientation for someone or I have a trainee with me, I definitely have had people ask me, well, can't we just double brief them? So then, like for the heavy wetters, can't we just double brief them so then, it lasts longer? And the answer to that I always tell them is no, absolutely not. Because you can get the skin redness, irritation, UTIs, a whole bunch of mess that these residents should not have to deal with just because you don't want to have to constantly go and change them. Most of that has been on midnight shift. But I have also worked places where people on day shift do not change people throughout the entire shift. And the only reason I know this is because I've worked at a facility where I know the person who worked night shift on a regular basis. And on the unit that she worked on, she would bring her own supplies in. So, because it was an assisted living facility, and so the family or the resident were responsible for bringing their own supplies, and she would bring her own supplies for the people who didn't have the supplies that they needed. Like there were people who their family would bring them pull-ups, but they really needed briefs, and she would buy briefs herself and bring them in to use on those residents. And so the only way that I know that it was her is because her briefs were different from the ones that people would normally bring in. Or, I'm not even going to get into it. I knew it was her doing it because of the way that the briefs were. And that same brief would still be on the person when I would come on to 2 to 10, when I was working 2 to 10s. So, I mean, that's definitely frustrating, but that's kind of not exactly the same thing that I was just trying to talk about with double briefing. But I have also walked in and seen a person with a pull-up, another pull-up with the tabs ripped off, and then a brief on top of that. So triple briefing, essentially. And that is insane to me. Like, I get that people get combative, but it is not healthy for people to have urine on their body, in their genital area, for that long. So, anyways. Another topic, I may have to split this into another video because it's already like 5 minutes long. Another topic that was requested was CNAs who ignore call lights and just listen to music on their earbuds, like one CNA that this person works with. I've actually had nurses who do that. I've had nurses, when I worked on the trach unit, there was the one specific nurse where she had the Bluetooth headphones that go around your neck, and she always had one in and one out. And she would tell me to do something and not even like miss a beat and just keep talking. So I would think that she would tell me to go check on so-and-so and see if their feeding needed to be refilled or whatever, or changed. And then she would continue talking, and so I would think she was talking to me, but really she was talking to somebody on the phone. She would go into residents' rooms like that, talking on the phone, and it's super annoying. I can't stand having to go and look for a nurse or a CNA to let them know that their patient or resident needs something. I've had to do it multiple times. It's very annoying. Sadly, I think that a lot of people get into CNA stuff for the wrong reason. They think that they're going to make a lot of money, or they get into it because they are planning on going to nursing school, and so they want to get their foot in the door, so to speak. But like, there's not a lot of people who actually care about the residents like they're supposed to, and that's really sad, because these residents deserve to be treated with the care that they deserve. You know, like, they deserve to be treated like someone's family member, because they are someone's family member. But, you know, I honestly feel like if you have that problem continuously with someone, and you have a good like rapport with your supervisor or the administrator of the building, or like the DON or the ADON, I would bring that up. Or if you have staff meetings, I would bring that up. Like, there shouldn't be people doing that. Like, I get it if you're on midnights and you're in between rounds or whatever, and you want to listen to the radio or listen to some music or whatever on your phone, and you have one in and one out, but most places have a policy against that. So I definitely wouldn't recommend doing it if your facility has policies that go against that. But I would not, like, the thing about it is, people will do what you allow them to do. And I am the type of person who, when other CNAs I've been working with have ignored their call lights, and I've gone to answer them, because I don't think that people should have to wait. You never know what they're on the light for, and it could have been an emergency. They could have dropped something, and then you don't show up, and then they try to get out of bed, they end up falling, and they hurt themselves. It's a whole mess. But if somebody is going to ignore their call lights, like, that's, I mean, what are you there for? What are you at work for? To listen to music? Because, I mean, it's everybody's responsibility to answer call lights. So you shouldn't be the only one that is doing the work. You shouldn't be responding to everybody else's call lights, because the nurse, the charge nurse, or the ADON or the DON should be talking about that, because it's not okay. You know, it needs to be a fair work environment, obviously, but people, I feel like I said, people just don't care like they used to. They don't care about people like they used to, and you know, it's very obvious in some people's work ethic that they just really could care less. But anyways, that is going to be the end of this video. I covered 2 topics, but I still have a list of 1, 2, 3 more. So I will be making another video on this, so stay tuned for that. I hope this answered or addressed what you wanted me to address. If not, let me know. I can definitely go into it further in a future video, and I will talk to you guys again in my next video.